That was my first time meeting this church. To see where God has brought you in 10 years. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for what He has done. So I've met so many people in the Ohio area. I've been to Gray Road several times in Cincinnati, back in the Richard Rose days. You know, and Flower's supposed to be my friend, but he ain't had me yet. And talk to him. I'm gonna talk to him and talk about him. Amen. That's my friend, but he texted me yesterday and asked how long was I gonna be here, and I told him, you know, Cleveland don't keep nobody long. I'm going home tomorrow night. But I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here today. It's so good to see all of you all, and then Brother Chapman, his family in Alabama. His family is like my family, and I'm glad to see him. Contrail talents give to the body of Christ. Amen. Let's celebrate the music ministry that God has placed in this place. Amen. Your preacher, pastor, teacher is my friend, big brother in ministry. I just want y'all to pray for him. Amen. You know, rest is ordained by God. I'm saying that. Rest is ordained by God. God created days 1 through 6, and on day 7 He rested. Rest was so important for the people of God that He put it in their commandments that they should remember the Sabbath, keep it holy, because it was a day of rest. Your preacher is taking some time to rest. Alex, I think I'm going to need another battery in a minute, because this one's going to go out. But pray for him. Pray for him. Don't pray on him. Pray for him. Don't pray on him. Don't ask a lot of questions. Unless it's, Pastor, how can I help? What do you need me to do? How can I take some of the load off? Amen. So y'all looking real crazy, all right? Thank you. Pray for him. Ministry is a stressful thing. It's a real stressful thing, and sometimes you don't realize how stressful it is until you're in it. I dare not tell a surgeon how stressful his job is not, because I want him to give me his best when he's working on me. And you want him to be at his best while he's working on you. Amen? So while he is away, while he's taking this time to himself to rest and to recharge, pray for him. And when he gets back, be the first to say, how can I help? And really mean it now. If you don't really mean it, just stay at the house, send some money, because y'all got to get them blinds and stuff. Listen. To whom much is given, much is required. And one of the plagues and responsibilities of the people of God is to take care of the man of God. And so y'all want him for another 25, 30, 50 years, right? Amen. You gotta, y'all do want him, don't you? Yeah, take care of him. Take care of his wife. Make sure that she's good. As you minister to him, as you minister to her, she can minister to him. So make sure that you take care of them. Luke chapter 2. And if it is your custom, would you stand for the reading of the Word of God? Luke chapter 2. Luke chapter 2. When I was watching dedication services, and I was wondering how all the preachers got up and down from up here to down there. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come up here this morning, so I could say I did it too. Luke, no, I'm not going to jump. I got too much weight on me to do that. Luke chapter 2 and verse number 52. I'm reading from the English, from the New International Version. X, is that you? Good to see you, man. Luke chapter 2, verse number 52. It reads this way. And Jesus ruled. That's enough. You may have your seats. And Jesus ruled. I want to talk about going to the next level. Going to the next level. And Jesus grew. Wisdom, stature, and favor with God and man. Y'all look at this. My God is awesome. He can move mountains, keeps me in the fire, and He hides me from the rain. Yes, my God is awesome. He heals me when I'm broke. He strengthens where I if I need rain. Yeah, my God is awesome. Yes, He is awesome. Yeah, God is awesome. Yeah, He is awesome. Sing it again. My God is awesome. Oh, yeah, God is awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Lord, and I know that He's mighty. Said He's mighty. He's mighty. He's mighty. And He's awesome. Yeah, Lord, and I found out that He's holy. Said He's holy. He's holy. He's holy. And He's awesome, awesome, awesome. And I found out there to be a provider, a provider, a provider, a provider. God is awesome. Yeah. My God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keeps me in the valley, hides me from the rain. Yes, my God is, heals me when I'm broken, strength where I'm weak, forever He will reign. Yes, my God, awesome. God, thank you so much for what you've done already. Thank you for what you will do. We need to hear from you now. Speak through me, not because I deserve it, but because your people need it. Simply would you have your way in this place. Make my mind think your thoughts. Make my mouth speak your word. Move in this place. Lord, I'm the instrument. Would you play me in whatever key you see fit? It's through Jesus that we pray. Amen. Going to the next level. The book of Luke is becoming one of my favorite books in the Bible. I appreciate Luke so much because he's different from the other synoptic gospel writers. Luke is a Gentile. He don't look like the rest of them. He don't come from the same stock as the rest of them. He didn't grow up in the same neighborhood. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I'll get there quick while I'm sick. Y'all pray for me. Luke didn't grow up in the same neighborhood as Matthew and Mark and John. He comes from different stock. But Luke is so important that he writes the gospel as it's been recorded by Luke, and also the book of Acts. As a matter of fact, when you study the book of Acts, it's really good to read Luke and Acts together, so that you kind of see the correlation with the same writers, same authors. See, y'all got a scholar for a preacher, so I knew I was coming today, so I tried to go to school a little bit before I got here today. But Luke Acts is a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, when you count the number of pages of Luke and Acts together, it's almost the equivalent, if not more, of what the Apostle Paul wrote in all of his letters. So Luke is real important, even though he doesn't grow up like the rest of them. Even though he doesn't look like the rest of them, even though he doesn't talk like the rest of them, Luke is a very important figure. And one of the reasons why I like Luke so much is because of the paintbrush that he uses to paint Jesus. When you look at many of Luke's writings, you'll see that the paintbrush that he decides to paint Jesus with is this compassionate Christ who has all of this passion and compassion on people who don't look like him. Because he writes from the place of being a minority of society. The way he sees Jesus is not only as a savior, but as a saving grace for someone who doesn't deserve it. So when you read Luke's writings, you see a lot of widows, you see a lot of children, you see a lot of foreigners in his writing, because that's the lens that he sees Jesus, because he wants to show that Jesus has love for everybody. Yellow, red, black, and white, they're all precious in his sight. One of the things that I love about coming to now the Bold Believers Church is that the vision that God has laid on the man of God that serves here week in and week out, it's a ministry for people who are less fortunate. When I came here 2 years ago, there was a guy named Russell here who was talking about some money from the Solomon Foundation. We were still at the other building, and when we left there, a pastor brought me over to this place. We couldn't get inside, but he just drove me around the property. And he started sharing with me all of the dreams and all of the visions that he had for this to be a place that was deeper than just a Sunday morning go-to-meeting church. Have I got any help in the room today? How he needed a banquet space so that we could serve the community. How we needed a big enough space so that there could be a counseling center here, because he saw the need for more than just Sunday morning go-to-meeting church. He saw the need for more than just revivals. He saw this church literally going to the next level. Have I got any help in the room today? He saw this church not staying where it was, but moving where God wanted it to be and where God had destined for it to be. But in order for you to get where God wants to take you, you've got to be willing to go to the next level. And in order for you to go to the next level, there's something that you got to do. And it's found in Luke chapter 2 and verse number 52. Where it simply says, and Jesus grew. Have I got any help in the room? And Jesus grew. And in order for you to go to the place where God wants to take you, you too have got to grow. Now listen, I ain't mad at nobody. I hope y'all don't think I'm upset. I just get real passionate about what I'm talking about. But God desires for all of us to grow. That's part of the reason why he's needing this rest, because you can't rest when you run it. You can't grow when you run it. You got to rest so that you can grow. Have we got any help in the room? Watch this, watch this. The picture that Luke paints of Jesus in Luke chapter 2, he takes us through the first 12 years of Jesus' life. He takes us to a place, walks us through the first 12 years of his life, and then when we get to chapter number 3, we meet him at age 30. Don't miss me right there. Luke 2 takes us through the first 12 years of Jesus' life. But by the time we get to chapter 3, verse 1, we meet him at age 30. What happens between chapter 2, verse 51, and chapter 3, verse 1? That's an 18-year gap. 18 years is hinged on one verse. And that verse begins this way. And Jesus grew. Not much is said about the growth time. Not much is said about what he did during this growing period. May I submit to you today, children of God, in your growing time, much may not be said about what you're doing. Saw somebody put the other day on Facebook, just because I'm not posting it don't mean I'm not progressing in it. Posts don't always mean progress. Some folks put out there what they want you to see. They don't put all of the mess ups, all of them. Have I got any help in the room? But you gotta be willing to grow. Before you can go to the place where God wants to take you, you've got to grow. Y'all got time for it this morning? 5 types of growth I want to look at. The lesson will be yours. Y'all only got one service anyway, so I should be able to take my time. I should be able to take my time. Although some of y'all don't look like normal church people. All right? 5 types of growth that Jesus goes through in this passage. In order for him to go to the next level. You ready? The first area of growth that he has to go through is a separational growth. It's a separational growth. It is a separational growth. Can you say that with me? A separational growth. One more time. A separational. Come on, say it like you mean it. It is a separational growth. Literally, he has to get separated from some people. Y'all gonna help me? He says, you help me. Don't nobody else help me. I got one witness here. Y'all remember as you are moving through chapter 2, every year according to their custom, they go to Jerusalem to give a census, to give an account, so that everybody can be counted. So as they're on their way back home, so on their way back to Nazareth, Jesus, because he is a kid, he's supposed to be back with his cousins in there. You know, Junebug, baby, and all of that. Yeah. That's what he's supposed to be. And so it's not unusual for him to not be with Mary and Joseph. But when they get to where they are supposed to be, and they're looking for all of their bad children, they notice that Jesus ain't in the mix. And they wonder, where is he? Where you at, man? And so they go back to Jerusalem. And where do they find him at? They find him in the temple, talking with the doctors, talking with the elders, talking with all of the rulers of the law. But when they get to him, they ask him a question, and they say, why have you done us like this? They've been to Jerusalem, on their way back to Nazareth. Jesus stays where he is. When they get back to him, the question that they ask not is, are you safe? Are you okay? The question that they ask him is, why you do us like this? Why have you treated us this way? I got any help in the room? Have you met any people in your life that as you're trying to better yourself, the first thing they want to say is, why you do me like that? You're trying to get ahead in life, but all they want to do is pull you backwards. And all they can say while you're trying to progress is, why you do us like this? Watch Jesus' response. Did you not know that I was about mine? Listen, you've got to separate yourself, not because you think you better than other folk. Because there's some of y'all that because you think you. Why y'all looking at me all funny? Some of y'all think because you seeing differently than how I do, you got the right to look down your nose and you better sit down somewhere with your cock-ass self. Some of y'all can't handle your stuff going public. You better be glad the Lord let your stuff stay private. I see I ain't got no help in that. But he responds, not saying, this is how I'm treated. He says, did you not know? It's so much deeper than just a question. They got to think back to how this boy was born. They got to think back to how this boy came into their lives. Mary and Joseph had to have a difficult conversation before they got married. She had some explaining to do. Mary had to tell him, hey man, come here, let me talk to you for a minute. Sit down. You need you to sit down for this one. I'm expecting great things. Could y'all imagine how Joseph would have been? What you mean you're expecting great things? Yeah, explain it a few more. What you talking about? And listen, I ain't been with nobody else. This blessing comes from the Lord. All of these things should have been treasured in their hearts. But when they get to Jerusalem, they see him talking with the people that he's supposed to be interacting with. They respond by saying, why did you do us like this? But his response to them is not, I'm not doing you like this, I'm doing this for him. Did you not know that I had to be about my Father's business? And now I submit to you today, children of God, that in this life, you've got to separate yourself from some people so that you can be about your Father's business. There are certain people that you can't hang out with. I'm like, don't cut me down, Leave me up. I got too far to go. There's certain people you got to cut out of your life because they're not where you're trying to go. They don't understand that you are about your Father's business. You can't hang out with Pookie and Ray them all the time. Some people you got to separate yourself from because they're not about the Father's business. That even comes when you come to church. There are some people that don't come here to see God, they come to see gossip. Soon as you walk in, they got the latest for you to tell you what Sister So-and-so got on today, how her hat don't match her dress, how it's too big, how they don't feel like sitting behind her, how Contrell ain't singing the way he's supposed to, he ain't sang that song, he sung too fast, he sung too slow, he sung too many songs. You know, you always got something to say. They had some little crazy boy down who said he was sick and he took too much medication. I'm tired of listening to preach already. There's some people that all they see is gospel, all they see is slander. And some of those people you gotta separate yourself from because they're hindering your worship, they're hindering your praise. They're always like you can't see God because you're always listening to them. Isaiah said in Isaiah 6, it was in the year that King Uzziah died that I saw the Lord. High and lifted up. Sometimes you folk gotta die so you can see God. Because you ain't got sense enough to separate yourself from him, so the Lord gotta take him. So that you can finally see him. Listen, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I know death affects us all. We've had so much death in our church this year, and I tell our church all the time, death is not something that you get over. You just learn how to get through it. But some folk needed to go. So folk, it was time for them to, so that you could get closer to God. Sometimes he has to take Big Mama so that you can get her faith. Sometimes he got to take Daddy so that you can get his God. Sometimes he has to take your child. Sometimes he has to take your spouse because they have replaced God's place in your life. So many times we don't understand what's gotten in the way. What's gotten in between us and God. And sometimes it's not until you clear everything else out of your life that you really start seeing what's important. Y'all all right? Pruning is necessary. I grew up in Alabama. Had a grandmother in Selma, Alabama. She did everything by hand. And one day I was over at the house, and with Chris, I saw her working on this plant that had all these brown leaves on it. And she took a pair of shears. I thought it was just a real big scissors. And Christian started cutting all these leaves off of this. And it was real weird to me because when she finished, it was only like 3 green leaves left. And I said, Grandmother, why you do that? That plant looked like it's good for the garbage. You done cut all the leaves off of it. It's only like 3 or 4 green ones left. Why you keeping this thing around? She said, baby, I had to prune it. I had to cut the dead ones off of it because there was a little bit of life left in it. You wondering why so many folk been leaving out of your life? Why you didn't get the job? Why this person left? Why that person left? God was trying to prune you. He was trying to cut the dead stuff off of you because if he wouldn't have got the dead stuff off of you, the dead stuff would have killed you too. That's the reason why that relationship didn't work out. That's the reason why that job didn't work out, because God said, I've got to separate you from it so that I can give more glory from your story. Then you lost your job, but you still eating. You ain't got evicted yet. You still putting gas in your car. You still looking real good because God is trying to tell you, I got you. Don't wait until you hit rock bottom to find out that God is the rock at the bottom. Separation is necessary so that you can be about the Father's business. Sometimes it means I got to leave family. Sometimes that means I got to leave friends. A lot of people don't know this, but for a season, me and my family fell out because I was about the work of God. I made some decisions that they did not agree with because I felt that's where God was calling me. I got told as a young man, we've given you a long rope, but I believe we've given you enough so you can hang yourself. But the God I serve says, because you put your faith in me, because you're trusted in me, the rope that they said is going to kill you, I'm going to use it to save you. He told Abraham, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to make you a great nation. Anyone that blesses you, I'm going to bless them. But in order for you to get those blessings, you've got to leave what is familiar and become a foreigner. He says, in order for you to get all of these blessings, I need you to move from the facts of what you think about your life to the faith that you have in me for your life. It takes separation. Y'all all right? I gotta move on. First growth, he experiences the separation of growth. The separation of growth comes because he's about his Father's business. It's not because he's better than anyone else. It's because he's moving to a better place. And may I submit to you today, children of God, everyone will not understand your journey. Everyone will not understand where God is taking you because he's not taking them to the same place. God doesn't just have this big manufacturing house where he sends out all the same lessons and just decides who's going to get them this day. But he deals in customized lessons, which means he tailor-makes them just for you. That means they ain't gonna fit nobody else. I got no help in the road with that. That means what he has for you ain't meant for your neighbor. And what's meant for your neighbor ain't meant for you. Y'all better stop being so envious of everybody else. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. Why did the Lord give them that? Because he knew they could handle it. You praying for a Benz, but you can't take care of you. You praying for a mansion, but you can't pay a project rent. You asking God to bless you with more, but you haven't learned how to tithe the less. Well, y'all ain't helping me. Y'all don't like being in this house today. What God has for you is for you. You ain't got to trip up nobody else in their blessing. Can I tell you something else? Listen. When I was growing up in Montgomery, with my grandmother that stayed right across the car, me and my sister were sworn enemies. I got a sister, she's 2 years older than me. We hated each other growing up. Yeah. We hated each other growing up. And it's my best friend now. I love her to death. But growing up, I couldn't stand her guts. But when we had to go to grandmother's house, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we made a pact that we would become friends. And our mission was to find as much change in the house as we could. We had to find as much change in the house as we could. We turned over couch cushions, looked on the beds, trying to find as much change as we could. Because at 2 o'clock we heard some music to the ice cream man. Don't miss me. Formed a pact, because the ice cream man was coming, and we knew if we had our money, we got ready, got in line, we could get us some ice cream. The music didn't tell us that he was in front of our house. The music said he was in the neighborhood. When you see your neighbor, your sister, your brother being blessed, you ain't got to get upset and say the Lord ain't blessed. All he doing is playing the music to let you know that he in the neighborhood. And if you get yourself together, if you get yourself in order, eventually he's going to be in front of your house. And you can get everything that God got for you. I got too far to go. He deals with the separation of growth. Then he says, and Jesus grew in wisdom. Grew in wisdom. Let me drop this off to you because I'm on my way there. Don't be afraid when people walk away from you. All separation ain't bad separation. I can't stand folks that always want to talk about the exes and all this and how they wasn't nothing, how they wasn't never nothing. You wasn't saying that a few months ago. I got too funny though. I got too funny. Don't be afraid when people walk out of your life. Some people ain't meant to go be a time traveler. Says he grew in wisdom. That is a scholarly growth. Can you say that with me? That is a scholarly growth. Come on, say it again. That is a scholarly growth. One more time. That is a scholarly growth. He grows in wisdom, which is applied knowledge. But in order to apply the knowledge, he had to get the knowledge. Do not settle for being spiritually ignorant. Some of us will never grow and get to the place that God wants to take us because we are content with being spiritually ignorant. We like being stupid. It feels good to us. Because it feels like the less I know, the less I got to be responsible for. Growth is uncomfortable. In growth, you got to go through some growing pains. It's very uncomfortable, but let me tell you this, when you grow to a certain point, old folks used to say, when you know better, you ought to do better. There are some people who are content with doing the same old thing. He grows in wisdom. Notice when they find him, the table that he's sitting at. He's sitting at the table with doctors, lawyers, religious leaders. They're marveling at his wisdom. He couldn't sit at the table if he didn't have something to contribute. So many of us have not been invited into certain circles and to sit at certain tables because you don't have anything to contribute. Perhaps that's the reason why you haven't been able to save certain people that you've been working on for years. Because your voice and your wisdom doesn't carry your weight. Your conversation doesn't have any character to it. Y'all all right? You got to grow. You got to grow as a scholar. In wisdom, you need to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Some of y'all, the reason why you can't talk to certain people is because every time you talk, you got a real bad attitude. And rather than saying, I'm sorry, let me work on that, you say, well, it's just the way I am. No, you need to change something. That's just the way you are. You got to know how to practice wisdom. Every fight ain't meant to be fought. Every comment doesn't deserve a response. Every action doesn't need a reaction. You got to know when to speak. I'm one of those type of people. I got mad and get it from my dad. When I get mad, I get quiet. And I've advised those that work with me, when I get quiet, you ought to as well. Play with toys, don't play with me. It would be wise of you. When you see me sitting back, and I just start nodding my head, you ought to say conversation over. We'll finish this later. You got to know when to speak. Because sometimes you start talking too much, you're going to let some stuff come out. And y'all quick to say, well, I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. You just didn't mean it to come out like that. But you would have thought about them things as they wouldn't have flowed so freely. Have I got any help in the room today? You got to know how to have certain conversations. You got to know the right language to speak. You got to know how to carry yourself. And with the people that you're trying to reach in this community and in this city, you got to know how to talk to them. So long, we were so quick to tell everybody, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Everybody, you're going to hell. And then when you needed them for something, guess what they was going to tell you? You got to know how to handle people. You don't fight fire with more fire. You don't fight hate with hate. You learn how to be wise. Don't be nobody's fool. Meekness is not a weakness. It's learning how to control your strength. Sometimes the one that's doing the most talking really doesn't have anything to say. I had to learn at an early age, hear what people say, but listen to what they don't say. And sometimes silence speaks so much louder. He's at a place where he's able to sit at the table with these men because of what he's read, because of what he's studied, because of what he has encountered. Some of us will open a book to save our lives. As a result, our minds are so limited now. We have nothing to say. You all right? Yes. You got to be willing to open yourself. Learn more than just John 3:16. That's a good starting place. But no more than John 3:16. No more than Matthew 16:18. Acts 2:38. Learn about this, you'll all know that you're my disciples if you have love for one another. But no more than how to say it, learn how to demonstrate it. It needs to be something deeper than what's declared with your lips. It ought to be demonstrated with your life. You gotta move as a scholar. It means you gotta get something on the inside, because what's on the inside of you will come out of you. You put filth in, filth is gonna come out. But if you put the right things in, the right things will come out. Right? And move. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all all right? Am I boring y'all yet? Listen. So number one, there's a what? A separation growth. Number two, there is a scholarly growth. Then watch this. Number three, it says that Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature. Thirdly, there is a structural growth. Can you say that with me? There is a structural growth. Come on, say it again. There is a structural growth. Come on, one more time. There is a structural growth. Literally, I told you at the beginning of this verse covers 18 years of his life, which means that he literally had to grow up. He had to grow up. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor. That's wrong. We'll try to say, neighbor. Grow up. Grow up. You've got to grow up. As you grow in life, as you become older, you've got to continue growing. I got a niece. My niece 14 years old. Pride and joy, she's my heart. I love her to death. But that girl take all my money. When the new iPhones came out, she called me. She said, "Uncle, are you getting the new iPhone?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, baby. I'm planning on it." He said, "Well, can you get me one too?" "No, baby, you ain't grown enough for that one yet." "Well, how about you just give me your old one?" "No, baby, you can't have that one either. We're gonna keep you on the flip phone." Listen. I tell my baby all the time. She's 14. I tell her all the time, "Baby, I sure wish you could have stayed that baby. You were so cute. You were so innocent. I just loved everything about you except changing your diaper." She was the cutest little thing, y'all. I wish y'all could have seen when she was growing up. Now she's 14. She thinks she's almost grown. I told her, I said, "Baby, I wish you could have stayed a baby." Then she dropped some knowledge on me. She said, "Uncle, wouldn't it have been strange, though, for me to keep on having birthdays, but to never get any bigger?" Don't you think there's something wrong when you see somebody who's a certain number of years old, but they ain't got no bigger? They haven't grown. They haven't matured. We were not designed to stay the same. We were designed to keep on growing and growing and growing until we get to glory. Literally, there is a structural change that has got to take place. You've got to keep on growing. God did not bring you to this place so that you can stay where you are. You did some wonderful things at the other location. You did some great things in ministry and for the community, but God brought you here so that you can keep on growing. Not only growing numerically, but growing in maturity. By the time you grow to a certain place in God, things that used to bother you shouldn't bother you anymore. Things that you used to say you shouldn't say anymore. You ought to be growing in God. All right? If you ain't growing, there's something wrong with you. You have a spiritual handicap if you're not growing. Listen. There were certain things at age 12 that Jesus couldn't handle. But at age 33, he should have been able to. Chris, please. Come here with me. Some of y'all looking at me real crazy. Look, Chris, you ain't got no kids yet. If he did, I was going to bring him up too. Make the illustration work a little better. Amen. Chris 1, Chris 2. Chris 1, Chris 2. One day it'll be a Chris 3. One day. This Chris is expected to do certain things at this age that this Chris now knows better. There are certain things that he'll say at the age that he's at now in life that this Chris ain't even worried about. There's a certain attitude and disposition that this Chris has. But only time is going to get him to the disposition that this Chris has. Over time, you've got to continue growing. By the time he gets to this place, he shouldn't really act like this Chris used to. When Jesus was 12 years old, he wasn't going to be able to handle Calvary, to have folk cussing at him. He wouldn't be able to handle that. But by the time he gets to this place, he can say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But that place does not come overnight. It takes growth, it takes time, it takes development. You got to grow up. What's your name, man? Listen, we'll do that real quick. Your boys twins? Okay. Hold them up, Mike. Ain't they adorable? Hey, handsome little boys. Listen, there are certain things that they expect you to do right now. They been trained yet? Not yet. So you expect some accidents. Don't y'all miss it. Them twins ain't potty trained yet. So mom and daddy expect some accidents. You better not have one. Thank you. You getting older. You shouldn't have one, but we have the kids. I'll sit down. I'm sorry. Y'all blame it on the medication, y'all. Blame it on the medication. Bad preacher. As you're growing, the challenge that we have in our society, in our community, we put the responsibility that should be placed on this Chris. On this Chris. And in some of our homes, we take the responsibility for both of these Chris's and put it on the twins. You tell them at 3, he the man of the house. He can't even stay on that. The boy still teaching him himself. But you tell him he's a man of the house. He don't know how to be a man. We have expectations without any communication. We put responsibility on people who are not in their place. Even when it comes to the church. Some of us think just because they look good, they drive good, that they have it all together. No, don't touch no, don't lay hands on no man suddenly. No. Y'all been approved. You ought to be able to see evidence of their word. Got to grow up. Every day you ought to be getting better. First, y'all saved, you might smoke a lot of weed. By today, you shouldn't smoke as much. To the point where you won't smoke no more. Don't miss that part. Some of y'all say, he said it's all right, then don't do it enough. No. You got to wean yourself off. I'm telling you, don't do it no more. Some of y'all can quit cold turkey. Alcoholics do not become alcoholics overnight. You can't get recovery overnight unless you die. It's a process. And the thing about it is, God is not expecting all of us to get well overnight. Get down to 1. Get to the point where you don't say the word, you say the letter. To the point where you allow yourself to grow, that you find another word to replace it with. Because your vocabulary done got bigger. You know what? Y'all boring you? Literally, Jesus has to grow up. Because there are going to be some things that he will encounter at the next level. There will be some things that he will encounter at the next level. There will be some things that he will encounter at the next level. Each level comes with new devils. You can only skate your way through this thing for so long. Used to be a time you can skate your way through school. But that was going to come a time. Couldn't cheat off standardized tests. Get every last one of them wrong. You got to keep growing. All believers, you got to keep growing. I'm still the old Northwest Church. But you got a new surname now. And your new name has a new nature that comes with it. You're not in trouble anymore. You're not in a new building no more. You have a new name and you have a new nature. You are called to be a bold believer. If you bold, some folk ain't gonna like you. Who they think they are. A bold believer, baby. Because I serve a bold God. My God said I can come boldly to his throne of grace. That means because he's my Father, I don't have to come with timidity. I don't have to be afraid when I come to him. When I can come and I can boldly ask him whatever I want. And Paul said, my God shall supply all of your needs according to his riches and glory. But you got to grow to that place. Watch this. I'm almost done. Number one, there's a separation. Number two, there is a scholarly growth. Three, there is a structural growth. Number four, there is a spiritual growth. It says, and Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God. He grew in wisdom, stature, and in favor with God. Don't miss it this morning. Please don't miss it. He grows in favor with God. So many times we want favor with everybody else, but we have no favor with God. There are so many of our churches that are so content with pleasing everybody in the pews that they have neglected pleasing God. There are so many of our churches that are operating and don't realize that the Spirit of God has left them. And they're still operating as usual. Because they have not grown in favor with God. When you grow in favor with God, you will do some things that other people will not like. Remember the separation growth? In your separated time from people, you get filled and refueled by God. Before Jesus began his public ministry, you remember he went and he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. After that, he was tempted of the devil. But when the devil left him, the angels came and they ministered to him. It's believed that Jesus prayed over 17 times in the New Testament. He was a man of prayer. He was a firm believer in prayer. A lot of those prayers are recorded in the gospel according to Luke. As a matter of fact, he taught his disciples how to pray. Y'all remember, it said, Our Father who art in heaven. Y'all help me. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever, ever. Amen. He taught his disciples how to pray. He taught us how to pray. He was always in a state of prayer. And that is one of the things that the church has forgotten how to do. There used to be a time the old deacons of the church would get down on their knees and start praying and start moaning and talking to God because they believed in the power of prayer. There was a time when our parents and our grandparents would wake up in the morning praying. We go to bed at night praying. There used to be a time that we would pray with our children. You couldn't go to bed at night before you said, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord. The problem that we have today, why many of us not where we want to be, is because we've forgotten how to talk to God and we talk to everybody else. We want favor with everybody else. We want favor with this person. Let me meet the mayor. Let me meet the governor. Let me meet the city manager. Let me rub elbows with this person because they can give me what I need. Baby, you don't understand. Those are just resources. If you get connected with the stores, he can give you more resources. If this person turns it down, he'll send somebody else to give you what you need. If that person says, I don't want to fool with you anymore, he'll send 3 months of all your needs. But he can't give you nothing if you won't spend no time with him. Some of y'all want to use God like an ATM machine. Just stop out when you need to get some money out. But you ain't put no deposits in. You ain't prayed no prayers. You ain't gave him no thank you Jesuses. You ain't blessed his name none. You ain't said nothing about him, but you want everything from him. You gotta grow spiritually. How do I grow spiritually? I get in his word. I come to Bible class. I come to service. I'm in his word daily. I'm praying to him, not just because I need something from him, but because I just want to talk to him. I tell him that I love him. I tell him that I need him. I tell him that I'm nothing without him. That's how you grow spiritually. I trust him. I rely on him, even when everybody else turns their back on me. I don't mind being something with him, even when I'm nothing to anyone else. There's some people that say that you're nothing, but because God has put a piece of himself in you, that makes you a masterpiece. You gotta grow spiritually. You gotta grow spiritually. Here it is now. Separational growth, scholarly growth, structural growth, spiritual growth. 5 is a social growth. It's a social growth that takes place. Can y'all say that with me? Come on, there is a social growth. There is one more time, there is a social growth that has to take place. And Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. He doesn't grow in favor with man until he first spends time with God. When you get home tonight, I want you to read through all the chapter 2. It'll take you just a few minutes to do it. But I want you to see this. Jesus leaves his home glory to come down to a sinful world. And even as a baby, people can tell he's been with God. People are rejoicing because they feel a certain presence when they come around him. I'm almost done. I apologize I held you too long today. People get excited because they are in his presence. I don't remember after that uncomfortable conversation of I'm expecting. She goes to holler her cousin Elizabeth. Elizabeth has a baby on the inside of her by the name of John the Baptist. And when Mary walks in, John starts jumping in his mama's belly because of whose presence he's in. When Jesus comes into the world, he's laying in a manger in a feeding trough. But there are wise men who come and they bring gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and they fall and worship at his feet because of who he is, because of his presence. When he gets a little bit older, his parents had to take him to the temple so that he could get circumcised. There's a lady in the temple who's lost her husband, but she said, the Lord ain't gonna let me die until I see the Messiah come. When they bring in this little baby Jesus wrapped in swaddling clothing, she gets excited and starts shopping because she sees the Messiah. Listen, people's lives are changed when they come into your presence, all because they can tell you've been around the Lord. Give this to you. There's a passage, I believe it's Luke, that says, when the baby gets here, call his name Jesus. But when you read Matthew's account, it says, call his name Emmanuel. That bothered me, that perplexes me. And if Cleveland was saying, he could probably explain it to me better. And probably could explain it to you all better, but this is the best I could do. Jesus means Savior. That's right. When you add Jesus to Christ, it means Savior of men from their sins. Right. When you call him Emmanuel, that means God is with us. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Savior of men from their sins. Emmanuel, God is with us. Yeah. One of them describes who he is and what his purpose is for coming. Right. The other one describes how we see him, how we feel him. I know you're recognized as the Bold Believers Church of Christ. That's what your mission is. That's what people see when they look at you. But what they ought to feel when they come in here is that God is with us. You walk into your job tomorrow, folk ought to feel that God is with us. When you walk into the house this afternoon, folk ought to feel that God is with you. Every place you turn, people ought to feel better because God is with them. All because you're there. Because he's put something in you. Because he put his love in you. It ought to be bubbling over. Folk ought to feel better. They come into your presence. Because they ought to be able to tell that God is with you. Listen, I'm done. You got to get ready to go to the next level. But in order for you to go there, you can't just say, I'm going. You got to get ready to go. God has given you this beautiful edifice. There's some things you're still working on to get it ready for everything that you want to do. The thing is, you're getting ready for it. You're working on it. So that when you add all of these programs, you're able to accommodate. You're able to do it with excellence. Because when you put something out, you don't want it to be raggedy. Just to say you did it. You want to make sure it's right. Make sure it look right. Sound right. Ain't no hiccups in it. But you got to grow that place. And growth takes time. And in growth, you got to go through some growing pains. Okay? It's going to be uncomfortable at times. Okay? It's going to be real uncomfortable at times. It's going to force you to be in some place that perhaps you don't want to be in. But on the back end of it, the blessings that God has, they're life-changing. Where he's going to take you, what he's going to do with you, it's mind-blowing. You won't be able to imagine what God is doing. Are you willing to grow? so that you can go to the next level, so that you can move where God wants to take you. Listen, the thing about it is, God has some major plans, but the thing about our God is, He'll let you stay where you are. If that ain't really what you want to do, if you don't want to go to that place, He'll let you stay right there. And He'll let you live a life of mediocrity. But He says, if you want better, I've got better. If you want something greater, I've got greater. But you got to be willing to grow into it. Right. Amen. That's the message this one. Let's get ready to go to the next one. That means I may have to separate myself from some people. I may have to bid farewell to some people so that I can be about my Father's business. So that I can do what God is calling me to be. Maybe I have to leave some places alone, leave some things alone so that I can be what God is calling me to be. That's all right. Because God has something greater in store. Grow spiritually, grow solidly, get in His Word, get in the books, learn the language of the community, learn how to meet people at their level, bring them to your level. Let's all get down. Amen. You should do that real structurally. Don't let everything bother you. Don't let everything get on your nerves. Y'all been throwing some more nerves back now. It shouldn't feel like an accident. Growing. Get more spiritual. Get in this world. Get close to God. Don't just be about lip service. And get to know Him for yourself. I'm glad I know Him for myself. I've tried, and I know He's there. And so then, once you go in favor with God, you'll be able to grow socially and impact the world. He can't use you to impact them if you won't spend any time with Him. Listen, stand to your feet. Don't sing. Stand to your feet. Listen. It's invitation time. It's decision time. To those that may be here today, who may not be members of the body of Christ, who may not be members, who've never been baptized for the remission of their sins, who are in need of a Savior today, we offer Christ to you. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him will not perish but have everlasting life. But in order for you to become a child of His, you've got to surrender in obedience to Him through baptism by faith and repentant belief, confession that He's the Son of God, will baptize you today for the remission and forgiveness of your sins. We offer Christ to you today if you need Him as your Savior. You can meet Him today in baptism. Perhaps you're here and you are a member of His family, but you're not in a place where you can grow. You've been looking for a church home, a place where you can grow, where you can develop. We believe that the Old Believers Church is good soil and good ground. If you plant your seed here, you can grow there. Perhaps you need to unite with the church today. If you've already been saved, but you're looking for a good church home, we encourage you today to become a member of this one. I believe that they will receive you, they can work with you, and you can grow here. But then perhaps there's someone here, today who's just standing in the need of prayer. You've been feeling those growing pains, but you've been trying to ignore them. You've been trying to get over the hurt, but it seems like it's so difficult. You just need prayer today. Whatever your situation is, we can pray for you, we can pray with you, and I believe that when the church starts praying, things start happening. Whatever your situation is, we're begging, we're pleading with you to come sing with me. Ask the Savior to help you, to comfort, strengthen, and keep. Oh, He is willing to wait. And He will carry. All you have to do is just ask the Savior to help and to comfort, strengthen, and keep. Oh, He is willing. You may be seated, but you can still come. And He will carry you through. Oh, ye lead not too tempted. God bless you. Oh, for you take this sin. Oh, each victory will help you. Some other to will find manifoldly on. Oh, time passion subdue. You just love ever to Jesus, and He will carry. All you have to do is just ask the Savior to help you, and He will comfort, He'll strengthen and keep you. I know that Jesus is willing to aid you, and He will carry you through. Well, and to Him that will come, let my God giveth a crown. Lord is the road, faith we shall conquer over. Sometimes you get knocked down, but I know that He was not saying, Lord, my strength will renew. You just love ever to Jesus. Oh, and Jesus, you can. All you have to do is just ask the Savior to you. He will come, first strengthen and keep you. Oh, He